This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So in the last class, what we discussed? So Abhinay, do you remember? So can you just tell me high level? Maybe on 31st.
In last class, I dropped out in the middle, sir.
Oh, okay. So you tell me at least what exactly you were there when you were, what exactly we discussed.
About database,
Exactly, data pages we discussed, right? Okay, with various scopes and various sources and all those things. Okay, and also at the end, I am not sure whether you were there or not. So in case if you give any customer ID, okay, when you select the search customer, okay, those customer ID we used to populate into the user different properties. Okay, these data we populated from the customer details data type. Okay. So we created one new data type called the customer details. Okay. So even we used to save the data from user interface to the customer details data type, and at the same time we used to retrieve the record from the customer details. So in case if you want to search for the particular customer, okay, so what we were doing is we were able to populate it from the customer data type, customer details data type. So here in the UI, okay, we have 1 2 record, right? So in case if you give 2 and search customer, so the details of the record 2 will be populated. In case if you give something called 1 and search customer, the data will be populated. Okay, in the same way if you give okay something called 44 and search customer, we used to populate it to the UI like this. Okay, so this is what we implemented, searching the particular customer details. And so here after searching the particular customer details, okay, so I'm giving something called 3 customer ID 3 search customer. Okay, so here it is getting blank. Why it is getting blank? Why? Because in the customer details there is no third record. Okay, there is no customer ID with 1 2 or 3 something like this. Okay, so here along with making it blank, I also want to display some message to the user saying this customer ID does not exist. Okay, I want to display the message to the user saying this customer ID does not exist. Okay, so how exactly we can do? So go to this particular section, customer search I created for this. Okay, and along with that, what I have done, okay, I had a text box for entering the customer ID and then search button, search customer button, and the fields for displaying the details. So maybe in between these two, you can add one more layout and you can add one more label saying customer details does not existing. Okay, so how we can add the label? Go to the basics. Okay, and then we have something called here label is there. Okay, customer ID does not exist. Save it. Okay, so this customer ID does not exist when it has to be displayed, only when there are no results available. Okay, when there are no results available. Okay, how we can know that there are no results? Okay, how we can know that there are no results? So for these 3, there are no results, but for the 2 record, we have the results. Okay, so how exactly we can know that? Right now, what it will do, as we did not apply any visible condition, it will be displays every time. Whether it is 2 or 3, always it displays that. But we want to display this message only when the record is not available. Okay, so how exactly we can do that? Means, okay, go to clipboard and see what exactly you will be having when it is 3, and see in the clipboard what exactly you will be having when it is 2. Okay, so in the clipboard. Okay, for this record. Okay, and actually where we are populating the data to that, where we are mapping this data to the properties. Under the customer search flow action. Okay, so we refer to the section, so that is the customer search section. So here on the click of this button we are doing it, right? So on the click of the button, what I am doing, I am calling an activity. So retrieve customer details. Okay, from this activity I am going to map in the data. So first I am doing the page new and then obj open. So under the obj open, param.customer id. What is this param.customer id? This cust id is the one which I am giving. So that I am going to pass into the obj open method and I am retrieving the record. And once after retrieving the record, then I am going to be mapping the data here. Okay, so once after retrieving the data, okay, where it will be? It will be under the customer details page. The selected record will be populated to the customer details page. Okay, so now on the clipboard, see customer details page. Okay, customer details page. Okay, here you will be having the values. Okay, here you will be having the values of the particular user. In case if it is blank, then we will see what exactly it contains. 3, search customer. Now nothing is there. Okay, so refresh this page, this customer details, and see. Refresh page. Okay, so it's having just the value 3. It doesn't having anything. Okay, other than the customer ID. Okay, which you have given, nothing else is there. Okay, it's not having any values. Okay, so even if you keep the tracer, what exactly it will happen in case if there are no records? Okay, if there are no records, we will see what exactly it will show in the tracer. Okay, tracing 33 and then search. Okay, so when we select the search, here retrieve customer details is the activity. Okay, step 1. Okay, what we have done in the step 1, we did the page new, so it is creating the fresh customer details page. And after that, second step. So what is the second step? In the second step we are doing the obj open, right? Yes, obj open. Okay, so here at the after the begin, at the end it is showing it is failed. Obj fail. Okay, obj open is fail. Why it is getting failed? See this. If you click on the file, it will show you that unable to open an instance using the given inputs. Okay, px obj class and the customer id 33. It is saying that okay, it's unable to get the record for the customer id 33. Why? Because this record is not existing. Okay, this record is not existing. So as the record is not existing, okay, it is unable to retrieve the data and it is showing the error to the user. Okay, and in this error we are able to see it on the tracer, but in the user interface we don't know anything. Okay, as the end user, it doesn't know anything. It is not showing any error. Okay, but only in the tracer you are able to see this error. So in case to handle these kind of the errors, how exactly you can do? Okay, in case if you want to handle these kinds of the errors, how you can do that? Okay, that means here only, right? We are getting the error after the obj open. We are getting the error. So that means after executing the step, if you want to handle anything, we can do it through the jump. Okay, so jump, right? Here we need to check the condition. So what is the condition we need to check? If it is failed, that means if it is unable to retrieve the data, or else if it is failed to retrieve the data, then we wanted to perform some action. So what is that action you wanted to perform? So what is the when condition you need to give? Means here we have some predefined method predefined when rule given by Pega, that is step status file. Okay, this is the predefined when rule given by Pega saying if the step status fail. Okay, what you want to do. Okay, so what exactly I want to do if the step status fail? If it able to open the record, then I want to set that values to the PY work page so that we can see those values on the UI. That's what, right? If the record is existing, it will copy the data to the customer name address C2. Okay, how exactly we are doing that? Through the property set. So if the record is available, then we will be doing these things. But if the record is failed, then what I want to do? So I want to add one more record. Okay, and here I want to set the flag like that, property set. Okay, so under the property set again, I want to set some flag. Okay, so no record does not exist. Okay, record does not exist. Some true false kind of the things I can apply it. Okay, so how? Okay, do I have any flag property? No. So what exactly you can do? You can create the property for yourself. Okay, so create. Customer not available, some kind of the variable I wanted to create. So if you click on open, so it will create a property as this property is not available. Create and open. Okay, so what kind of the property it should be? Boolean. Okay, that is true or false. Save it. Okay, I closed it. Now in this I want to set what? Do we need set to true or false if the record is not existing? False, right? Like this. Okay, but here what I said, we need to jump from second step to fourth step if the record is not existing. Okay, so I can give a label like not available. Jump. So if the step status fail, jump to later step. So to which step it has to jump? To the not available. Otherwise, continue wins. Okay, that means if the record is existing, okay, then it should continue wins. Continue wins means it will go to the third step and it will be doing this one. Okay, it will be performing this operation. It is going to set the values. So is this fine? Save. Okay, but still it is not clear. I will show you what exactly the problems it contains. Actions, run. Okay, so this is the first screen. Here we don't have anything. Okay, in the second screen we implemented. Okay. In the second screen we implemented the search functionality. Okay, so the customer ID 33. First we will see with the 2. Search coming, but still the message existing. 33 search customer. Still the message existing. Okay, so why like that? Why the still message showing even still the values are available? What could be the reason of it? Let's see on the clipboard what exactly that property contains. Under the PY work page, cust not available, false. So if it is false, it should display the message and I am giving 1. Now what it contains, let's see on the clipboard. refresh. Okay, still it contains false only. Why always it contains false? Why? Because still we have to perform many things here. What is that? Okay, what exactly means this property will be false when it should be false only when this record not available. Okay, so initially what it should contain? It should contain true. By default, this property should contain true. Only if this does not exist, then only we have to make it false. Okay, then here add one more step, insert below, and then here do property set. Okay, Control C, Control V, and then here again true. Make it true small. Okay, here along with that, what exactly we have done? Here we have to do that. Okay, visible condition we have to apply. Okay, where exactly we need to apply the visible condition? On the customer search. Okay, on the customer search. For this message, we need to apply the visible condition. Otherwise, it will be displayed every time. Okay, so what is the visible condition we need to apply for this? It should not be always. It is a expression or when rule. Okay, dot cost not available equal to. So if it is equal to false, right? When we are setting to false, only if the record not existing, then only we are setting it to false. Okay, so if it is false, then only we want to display this message to the user and then save it. Okay, so now again create one more object. Actions run. Okay. So here now 3 search customer. No, 2 search customer. Okay, still again it is not working. Why it is not working? Why still it is showing this message? What is the visible condition? It should be, if it is 3, it should be false, right? If it is false, then it should be hidden. You see, cost not available equal to false. In case if it is 2 search customer. Okay, now refresh it. It is false. Okay, still it is false. When it is 2, it is false. So why it is not setting? So keep the tracer and trace it again. Clear. So when it is 2, it should be true. Okay, so as per the first step, good. Second step, good. Okay, so third step, obj open. Okay, good. Okay, so when you execute the second step, we are setting it to true, right? Okay, cast CST. See, in this step, cast not available equal to true. Okay, on the second step execution, cast not available equal to true. And then on the third step, Okay, on the third step, it is able to retrieve the record. Okay, after executing the third step, again it is going to the fourth step. Okay, on execution of the third step, again it is going to the fourth step. So why it is going to the fourth step? So what exactly we need to add again? You see, on the third step, if the record is not existing, it will go to the fifth step. But if the record is existing, it will come to the fourth step. Okay, but after coming to the fourth step, what it will do? It will go to the fifth step. But you should not go to the fifth step when the fourth record is existing, fourth step is executed. Clear or any doubts? Guys. Harish, Chanakya, Abhinaya.
Okay, sir.
So what is okay?
Clear, sir.
I am asking the doubt, like, okay, see, on execution of the fourth step, it is going to the fifth step, right? So, do we need to execute the fifth step after execution of the fourth step? Abhinaya?
Not required, sir.
Yeah, why? Because, okay, you see, initially we are making it to true. First, true set చేసాము. Okay, after setting it to true, we are trying to open the record. If the record is existing, we have to set the fourth step. Okay, record existing అయినప్పుడు మనం ఆ డేటా అంతా కూడా తెచ్చేసి PWRPలో పెడతాం. After that, fifth step is not required. The fifth step, when it has to be executed, only if the record is not existing. Record is not existing, from the third step we will be jumping to the fifth step. But if the record is existing, we should not do this. So how we can ignore of execution of this? సో ఫోర్త్ స్టెప్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయిన తర్వాత ఫిఫ్త్ స్టెప్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వకూడదు, ఎందుకంటే ఆల్రెడీ రికార్డింగ్ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ ఉంది, రికార్డ్ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్. సో హౌ వీ కెన్ ఇగ్నోర్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఫిఫ్త్ స్టెప్? Abhinaya, please go on mute. There is a lot of disturbance. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so how we can stop execution of the fifth step means, after execution of the fourth step, select the jump. Okay, enable condition after this action. Okay, so always, right, every time we don't want to execute. Fourth step execute అయిందంటే ఫిఫ్త్ స్టెప్ ఇంకెప్పుడు కూడా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వకూడదు. సో ఎప్పుడు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వకూడదు అంటే, సో ఎనేబుల్ ద కండిషన్. సో దేర్ ఇస్ ఎ వన్ when rule, always, I already told you. So always what we want to do, we want to exit the activity. So we want to exit the activity, we don't want to perform the fifth step, or else we don't want to go back. So exit activity, submit, and then save it. Okay, so now again open one more record, create one more work object, actions, run. Okay, so here if it is 1, see that message is not existing. If it is 3, that message is existing. If it is 2, message is getting cleared. If it is again 44, available. 66, message is displaying. Clear? We are displaying message to the user saying that record is not existing. Okay, so ఒకవేళ ఈ 66 record not existing, I am displaying the message. At that time we have to clear these values, right? We have to clear these values. So how we can clear? In the activity, we can set those values to be cleared. We can add one more step here. Otherwise, here itself again in the property set of this, okay, you can clear those values with blank. To which values we wanted to clear? Control C. See, like this. In case if you want, you can apply the visible condition even for this customer details layout. When this message is displaying, you wanted to hide this one. Okay, so you can hide this one. So you can display only if it is true. If it is false, you can hide this one. Okay, false అవుతే ఈ మెసేజ్ కనిపించాలి, ఇది హైడ్ అవ్వాలి. ట్రూ అవుతే ఈ మెసేజ్ కనిపించకూడదు, కిందిది కనిపించాలి. So you can apply one more visible condition for this. Okay, so this is that. Mainly we will be using obj browse method, obj open method to get the particular record. Okay, next thing, I want to perform the obj browse and I want to display the multiple records. So here, for displaying the multiple records, what we can do is we can use one more user interface thing that is called table. Okay, one more user interface field is there that is called table. Through the table, we can display multiple records. Okay, so as everybody knows that, okay, in Excel, how it will be having, in the same way we can display the grid table. Okay, so in Excel, we will be seeing it, right? Okay, so for example, this is one table format. Okay, here we will be having employee number, employee name, address, city or state, something like that. Okay, so we can add all the records 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like this. So in the same way to the user also I want to display. Okay, to the user, you would be asking, already we have customer, we have something called customer details, data type is there. Okay, we have customer details, data type. Okay, but this customer details data type is available to the end user, that means to the developer. Only the developer can see this. Okay, so in case if you want to display these details to the, okay, to the end user, like for the operator, then what we can do here, we need to give it in the flow. Okay, we need to give it in the flow. ఈ flow లో మనం రెఫర్ చేస్తేనే అది కనిపిస్తుంది. So how we can display it in the flow? Okay, how we can display it in the flow? Okay, so again to display it in the flow, we need to have one flow action, and under the flow action we need to create the section. Under section we need to place this. Okay, so let's come one by one how we can display it. Okay, so if you want to display to the user, first to create a section. Okay, first create a section. Where exactly we need to create? Where we have created all our sections under the work class of the user interface section. Okay, customer search, we have all these things like this. Okay, create. Okay, all customers, I'm giving something like this, create and open. Okay, and then here till now we used the basic properties like buttons, checkbox, all these things like this. But for displaying the grid, we need to have something called table. Okay, we need to have something called table. Place it here. Okay, this is the table format. And after that, okay, how we can display these customer details, all the customers information under the all users section. Okay, in this section I wanted to display it. So how exactly you can display it? To display it here, okay, we need to select the page list property. See here, page list property for repeating row. Okay, value required. That means for this table, the source is unspecified. Okay, so this is the table. In the table, we need to specify the source. Okay, what is the source we need to specify? That must be the page list property. Why we need to have the page list property? Why not page? As I said, if it is a single record, it is a page. But as we wanted to have the multiple records, okay, as we need to have the multiple records, then we can have page list property. So to display multiple records, we need to have the page list property. So for that, we need to have one page list property. So what is the page list? We can create one page list property here. Create. Okay, any name you can give. I'm giving again the property name also same, all customers. Create and open. Here the property type should be of what? It's a page list. Okay, so this will be referring to the which records? These customer details we want to display. So this customer details is referring to the which class? The data class we have to be referred. Go to our property creation. Here we need to select that customer details and then save it. So now we have the page list property to hold all the customers information. And then from this property, we will be displaying into the section. So here we need to select that. Okay. Go to the properties of this table. In this properties of this table, we need to specify which property you wanted to have as a source for the table. So what is that? All customers. Okay, all customers. Save it. See now this table is referring to the all customers. Okay, earlier source not specified, it was displaying. Now it is all customers. Okay, under the all customers, again from this page list property, okay, from this page list property, what exactly you wanted to refer? Data model property. Now you can see all customers. So from this, under the all customers, we have all these properties. So which you wanted to display here? Okay, which you wanted to display here. So customer ID, simply drag and drop. We need to add one more column. Insert column, right. Likewise, how many columns you want? Those many columns you need to add. Okay. So first customer ID. Customer name. So in case if you wanted to change it, you can change it from here. So manually also you can update it. Otherwise you can drag and drop it here. Customer ID, customer name, okay, address, and then city. So I'm just keeping only 4 properties. Save it. Okay. So after creating this one, next thing what we should have? First we need to have the property. We have the property and then we created a section Okay, that is all customers section. Okay, and then this section will be placed in the referred from the flow action. So go to the flow action. Okay, create a new flow action. Okay, customers display FA. Like flow action I have given FA means. Now select the section which you wanted to refer. Save it. Okay. Next thing is this flow action can be referred from flow. Okay, so for displaying the flow action in the flow, we can have something called assignment. Okay, let's arrange them. Align horizontally. Okay, like this. And then here again we need to select the flow action. What is the flow action? Customers display flow action. Okay, you can give the label like horizontally. Okay, you can give the label for the assignment as well. Save it, submit and save it. Now run it again. See, we have customers display flow action. Okay, with customer ID, name, address, city. Okay, we have the grid. Okay, we are displaying the playlist property with the columns, but we don't have the records. Why we don't have the records? The reason is to have the records in the playlist. First of all, this playlist should contain the values, right? In the clipboard, you see, in the clipboard, in the PV work page, okay, we have the all customers, but we don't have the records into that. Okay, once if we have the records into this playlist property, then only you can see them on the user interface as well. Okay, right now it is the blank one. So now we need to populate it. So how exactly we can populate? From where exactly we need to populate? From where exactly we need to populate? Right now, where are these records available? Where we have all the customer details. In this data type, in the customer details data type, we have 3 records. So these 3 records we need to copy from data type to the page list property. Okay, so we need to copy to the page list property. So what is the page list property? What is the name of the page list property we created? What is the name of the page list property we created? All customers. Okay, so all customers page list property is there. To this page list property, we need to copy it. Once if we copy this, that will be available on the clipboard, then only you can see it on the user interface. Okay, then only you can see it on the user interface. So how we can copy the data from data type to the page list property? Through an activity, right? Through an activity. So we need to create one activity for copying the information. Create activity. Populate customers. Create and open. Okay, so here we can populate it through the page copy method. Okay, through the page copy or else again property set or else one by one record. Okay, so that is the way we can populate it. So first we should have the access to the PY work page, which is the top level page. Okay, and then here HDFC insurance implementation, and then work. Okay, so after that, okay, where we have the data into the data type. So data type is referring to the which class? It's referring to the data type customer details. Okay, so from this data class to the PY work page, we need to copy. Okay, from this data class to the PY work page, we need to copy it. Okay, so what is this data class? Okay, we can give any name again, like customer details. Okay, so from this customer details data type, right? So you can give for identification, we can give DT also, data type. Okay, now here page copy. Okay, so we need to copy into which page? PY work page dot. What is the property name which we created the page list property? All customers. Okay, PY work page dot all customers. From where? From customer details DT. So what is that? Invalid expression or reference. No valid selector. I hope everyone remember last time also we used something called current and append. Append means for appending the page. Current for referring to the current page. So this all customers, okay, will be referring to the current record. Okay, it will be referring to the in the current place we wanted to add the new record. Current. So that means the first record will be added as a first one and the second record will be added as a second one. Okay, what happened again? Invalid expression or reference. Okay, current is not a valid here. Why? Because when you are doing page reference, okay, you should always refer to the loop it. Okay, you have to loop it. So once if you loop it, then only you can refer to the one by one. Okay, so I will show you again. So have exactly. I'm moving it actually. Okay, so first obj browse. Okay, I wanted to do the obj browse. When you want to perform obj browse, ps results. Okay, so this should be referred to the what? This one, and it should be referred to the code hyphen mega hyphen list. And then I'm browsing. And we don't have any key here. Okay, so we need to select again which properties you wanted to read. Customer ID, customer name, city. We referred only 4 properties, right? State, address, city. Okay. What all are the properties we referred? ID, name, address, city. So ID, name, address, city. So we want to select all these values. Okay. In case if you want to see this, whether it is retrieving the data or not, so how exactly we can do? We can run it and see it. We can run these actions, run, run, clipboard, customer details DT, TX results. So it contains all the 4 records. It contains all the 4 records. Okay. So now once after getting the 4 records, as I said, now we need to copy from customer details DT page to the on the page. So now as we have 4 records in the customer details DT page, okay, as we have 4 records on the customer details DT page, okay, we need to loop it each and every record for each embedded page. Again, it should be referred to the class of C hyphen ADFC insurance implementation hyphen data hyphen customer details. Submit. Now we need to copy to the PA work page dot all customers of current. Okay, so from where we want to copy, as I said, from customer details DT. Okay, we should be referred to the PX results. We already copied this functionality. We did this functionality even through the data transform also. Through the activity also we have done. Through the data transform also we have done. Okay, 1 second. Hello. Yeah. So sorry for the break. So here from this customer details DT, we are copying to the PA workplace dot all customers. So again, we can verify that whether it is copying it or not. Run. Okay, go to the clipboard. So now we have the data on the customer details. Okay, now this we have copied to the all customers of the PA work page. Yes, we have the complete records. So now this activity should be referred before displaying this flow action. So what is the flow action we have used for this? all customers FA, right? For displaying this, we have used the flow action all customers FA. So from the recents, I am trying to open that again. So yeah, customer details here, customers display FA. Now for this, we have to make it as a pre-activity. Okay, so that it will populate the data and then it will display the records in the UI before displaying this one. Okay, populate customers. Check out. Then save it. So close the existing work object. Now run it again. So what is our flash name? Yeah, correct, right? Customers display FA. That is what we have updated, right? Yes, customers display FA. In that we have given the populate customers pre-activity. So whenever it is running this one, run. See, earlier we only had the labels. Now we have the records as well. So this is the way we can display the records into the user interface. So first we should have the flow action. Under the flow action we should have the section. Okay, this section will be referring to the page list property. Okay, so we need to populate it to the page list property, then it will be displayed. So how we are populating it to the page list property? Through the activity. So under the activity, what we have done, through the OBJ browse, we have populated the records to the customer details DT page name. Okay, so from this page we are copying all the records to the all customers. Okay, we are populating to the all customers. So from this data type we have populated to the all customers playlist property. So as it is contains in the pworkplace.all customers playlist property, so it will be displaying in the UI. So in the UI also we are referring to the same property, so it is displaying into that. So this is something called browsing the multiple records and displaying in the UI through the table layout. Okay, this is called a table layout. So yesterday we have done populating the single record. Okay, we have done through the populating into the single record, but today we populated the multiple records. Submit. Yeah. Okay, so here we did population of the single record. Like this, only one record. Clear, right? Any doubts? So if you are clear, then we can close it today and we'll continue tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we'll be continuing the validations.
Sir,
Hmm.
how to switch one application to another application?
Switching the applications on the application explorer. Switch
But I'm
application.
not getting it, sir.
Okay, so that means do you have multiple applications in your computer?
No, yes, sir. You created a framework application and implementation application, right?
Okay.
I have created, but I'm not getting the switch application.
1 second. Hello, Abhinaya.
Sir.
So is the answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, fine. So first of all, your operator ID should contain the multiple applications. Do you have that one? Actually, in the operator,
Operator. Okay. Mm,
here you should have the multiple access groups. So do you have them?
No, sir.
So then you can add it. So you can see the add item, right? You can select this add item, and then if you press the down arrow, you can see all the applications in your system.
Okay. But it's not getting to me.
Now
Okay,
you
sir.
see. Now you are getting right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So you have to select the other applications as well, like
Okay,
this,
sir.
and then if you save it and log off and log in. Okay. Now if you press down arrow, switch application, you can see them. You see. Now I have added DM sample, so you can able to see it. Try this.
Okay, sir.
Okay, na? Yeah. Yeah. Then. Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.